everyone. My name is Zainab Husseini from Encounters Documentary Film Festival, and today we're talking to Jan Borowiec from
Borowiec. Borowiec.
Borowiec from Black.
Hi, hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm good, thanks. So I'm just going to jump right into the questions. I think one of the things I was very curious about is your law background. And I just
Yeah.
want to know what motives and inspirations drove you to create the documentary coming from such a background.
I think there are two issues. Like that's true. I graduated from law, and on that time I was searching for my place in the world. But I'm glad about it. But parallelly, I decided and I started a film school, and now I understand that was in somehow my destiny, like to have these two occupations. And it's not that uh, the inspiration is connected with the law, but it's quite simple story, because when I was finishing my film school, there was a task to find a topic and to make a film. And I read in a newspaper about unique discovery in an old building 50 meters from the place from a place where I lived at that time. And I realized, wow, it's an amazing story and so many questions, like about this collection, about an author, about the history of the people who are depicted on the pictures. And it was the story, and I decided maybe that's my destiny. Now I should focus on that story, and that's it. That was the very beginning of the process of shooting the film, The Glass Negatives.
Great, thank you. So in a time when photography is just as easy as, clicking a button, what do you think the significance of preserving these old methods of documentation are?
There are like two answers. I think the first answer is more focused on technique of it, because the glass plates and this old technique is really great. It's like the pictures from the collection were under the roof, where during the summer the temperature was around 70 degrees of Celsius, and in winter like minus 40 for 70 years. But still we are able to to have the pictures, and with great quality. So it's impossible with any digital technique, and really it's the best technique. Like vinyl for audio, it's better than MP3, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And what else? Like each photo, I think it's a glass window to history, and literally when you hold it in your hands, it's transparent, but you have people depicted on the glass plate, and it's a magic. And also you've seen the film probably, and I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah.
and there, and over there is a process of uh, uh, how we can develop it, and it's also a magic, like you saw it in a film. So it's a magic stuff, and I think it's no coincidence that this collection survived after Second World War in the place, and it's a collection of, it shows non-existent city and the people that were like sometimes only this like shadow of someone captured on the picture is the only mark of that person in the whole world, and it builds another dimension of understanding what the film is about. And
Yeah,
I
I
think
definitely agree. So, what do you think future generations might make of our own modern day photography and our own documentation of history?
um, it's like the history is very important. It's this is a medium. I mean, the photography or the film, I don't know, the audio, like everything, but it's only way to tell the story of human beings that I think we are always in somehow the same. Of course, there are different era, different times, different clothes, but on these pictures we can see people with their moods, and they just walk up in their world. They were walking to, I don't know, in their to make their tasks, and in the middle of this rush they met a photographer who took a picture, but they were exactly like us. And that's what is important in history, that like we can find some common things with them, and like, and it's also a lesson, especially when we know how their story, uh, what was the end of their story, and I think that future generations should always be aware of mistakes of people from the past, and I think that's it. And
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like so how was it then to show the living relatives these pictures and to be able for them to look back at them and reflect on a time when they might have remembered when they were like 2 years old or something? Because I would
yeah.
imagine that's a pretty nostalgic but also traumatizing in a sense.
hmm it was the most interesting and most precious time during the making of the process of shooting the film.
Mm.
Of course, it was impossible that nowadays they're 90 years old, but at that time they were 2 or 5 years old. It was impossible that, almost impossible, that someone could recognize, oh, that's my father, or that's me. But I was aware of it, and for me it was more a trigger, as something that can open their memory. And that was the most important thing for me, because they're like living, like they link this non-existing world, the pre-war Lublin, my hometown, with with today. And hmm, it's it's a pity that in the film we have only 6 minutes of their of interviews, but it took me, like, I don't know, 1 week and like 7 hours with uh, every character. And it would be great if in film I could add more of their testimonies, but it's impossible. But for me it was something really, really important. And yeah, it was the most important. I think it like that we filmed it, and now this testimonies are in museum, and I think it's even more important than film, because it was the last moment probably for us to record their memories. And really, I realized it after the film is finished, and the film was finished, and now I think that was all that was about it.
Hmm. Yeah, it definitely had that authentic and vintage kind of feel to it. But another thing that really hooked me was the score and the music. So I wanted to ask, was there a certain haunting element that you were going for, or was it more a matter of just adding some sort of sound to the visuals? Because it definitely
Uh-huh.
helped with creating that very eerie feeling.
Thank you. The score. Uh, it's Kroke. That's the name of the band, which means Kraków. It's a city in Poland, but it's in Yiddish. It's like klezmer Polish band, quite famous, and you know, I like Krokę, you know, always. It's like they're like older than me, like 15 or 20 years. So when I was teenager, there was their beginnings of their career. And on one day, I realized when we are thinking about music in the film that maybe Krokę is the best choice, but it was like other league for us. You know, it is my first film, and the budget was not enough, like to pay for studio for them. But I decided no, I want the Krokę music, so I forced them to watch the film. You know, I was calling them every 3 days. Have you watched the film? Have you watched the film? And eventually they watched the film and they agreed uh, to give me some of their music and to compose some another music for free. And that was you know, the power of the story. I think that, like, just they watched the film and realized that it's what kind of story is Glass Negatives, and they just decided to help me. And that's, I think the music works also. There is the music is good.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed every bit of it, and especially the music just hit me really hard because it just helped piece the whole thing together, definitely. But that's really interesting. I didn't know that. That's all the questions I have for you, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for your time and participation. And to everyone watching, my name is Zainab Husseini from Encounters, and we will be virtually everywhere, and you can find us on social media as well. Jan, thank you so much. And
thank you very much.